I'm Ben.
And this is Daniel.
And it's time for another bad podcast.
I hate how I did that just now. How I said
it's recording.
Let's do it again.
I'm Ben.
This is Daniel.
And it's time for another bad podcast.
Yeah. Try to use that one, Brendan, in the final cut.
Okay, look. This week's beer of the week is Soul. It was so disgusting that I drank them all before we could film it. And this is Mountain Dew. That'll be the beer of the week. It really was disgusting, though.
Why is your Mountain Dew in a glass bottle, Ben? I thought that would be a cute little story because there was a hole in your Mountain Dew earlier.
Well, thanks for fucking ruining the story.
You looked at me like you didn't know this story.
I was confused because you said glass bottle.
Is that not what it is in your hand?
Is this a bottle?
What does a bottle do except encapsulate something?
Several things encapsulate and capacitate.
Just talk about your stupid beer.
Okay. Soul. I blanked. It was the worst tasting beer I've ever had. I bought it because it was a Mexican beer. Mucho de Nastio.
That was racist on a couple levels.
How is it racist? What are you attributing what I just said to what race?
I meant it was racist that the beer was nasty. Because they shouldn't have done that.
True.
Yeah.
I do like Mexican beers,
and you
but
return
that
it
is
and be
disgusting.
like, it was too racist.
After I drank all of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
No, I can't. Okay. This is already starting out rough.
It's a bit patchy, just like life.
Grab some sandpaper. Let's smooth that bitch out.
Wow. I've not heard that one.
It's because it's not a thing. Okay, before we forget, let's talk about the Fermi paradox.
Okay.
Let's appease our most valued follower. Yeah. I'm not going to say that.
Wow. You
our
just
most
said it.
Dedicated,
it's gonna be in the episode.
Our most dedicated follower.
Oh my God. We're not naming names.
Jocelyn. Dude, when she sent me that thing, like, yeah. I love you guys too. I'm like, she listens.
Shout out to a real G. I hate that I said that just now.
Something about that tea, man. Just brings out the best in us.
This is yours again, right? Like your homemade one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisiana. Or Luzanne.
Yeah, it's not as good, sweet as...
Oh, no. You add your own sugar.
Oh, is this unsweet?
No. I'm saying I didn't put as much sugar.
Oh, okay.
So for a whole gallon, you put a cup and a half of sugar. Well, generally, I use a little less than a cup and a half. I don't like it that sweet. Why? Have they ever barked before?
I don't know. Like in their lives or in this podcast life?
Fermi paradox.
Yeah.
Before we get I already told you about this, so it feels weird to tell you again about it, just for the sake of people listening.
Time, so it's okay. That was a joke.
You piece of shit. Okay. Well, Brendan hasn't heard this yet.
Yeah, so tell Brendan.
The Fermi paradox is as easy as there's a whole bunch of theories and, I guess, statistical data that would show life would exist somewhere else in the universe because of how big the universe is. There's supposed to be so many different... Even if 0.1% of our universe had life, it was supposed to be like an astronomical number of lives.
Right.
Planets with life.
Okay.
And all this stuff. But if it's everything in the math points to there being all this life, where are they? Where is it? Why haven't we witnessed it? And the Fermi paradox tries to explain that differentiation. Differentiation?
You're asking the wrong person. That's sending me a little too much. Okay.
But that brought me to an idea. I forgot all the numbers. It talked about if we were to begin exploring the universe, and I don't know. I saw the number 2 million. It was like if it took us 2 million years it could take us 2 million years to colonize our galaxy. So if it would only take us 2 million years and like the universe is this old, what about all the other civilizations that have probably been just as smart as us? And there were 3 classifications of of life. There's a type 1, which is what I guess we're estimated to be, which uses full energy potential, or is close to using the full energy potential of the planet or whatever. And it's getting like advanced and scientific, and their brains are just really good. They can do all kinds of things. Type 2 civilization or whatever could harness the power of the sun. Now, this is all theory. That's why I don't like this stuff. When I looked it up, it was like, if this, and if this, and if this too. You know, I don't like that kind of stuff.
It's all just creating your own narrative. Like,
yeah,
if this happened and this happened to the exact same, blah, blah. Yeah. It's constructing a narrative.
Yeah.
Aren't they not supposed to do that? Isn't that illegal?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, when I drink from a straw, I like to pull my straw up till almost the surface of the liquid.
Don't you know that
so
there
it's as
are
cold as it can be?
Turtles out there who have families who will never see their kids again because
Did you know
like
80% of the plastic straw waste is produced by one country?
Yeah.
Not us.
It's China, right?
Yeah.
I just said that because I wanted to send you a little bit. Like,
oh, I got sent.
Are you familiar with the concept sent? Because I've been saying it all night, but like, can we?
I have an understanding from context clues.
Right. Like, you know what sent is, right? Like,
you talking about like a trip? I don't know.
Just sending it. No, like
Headspace? I don't know.
No, it's like, I don't even know how you would explain it. It's like an internet thing. I think it's like a generation thing, but it's like gonna full send. Like, I'm gonna wake up this morning and full send it. Just like go at life hard. Something Dylan would do. Dylan is full send all the time. Like, Dylan has no breaks.
Dilly.
Dylan has no breaks. He's full sending. When he's not full sending, he's still full sending. That's Dylan embodies full send. And if you know Dylan, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you won't.
And if you're Dylan, you definitely know what
if
we're
you're
talking
Dylan,
about.
dilly, brother.
Dude, did I tell you? I don't even know if I told Dylan about this. This woman, I was walking up on the sidewalk to go into Walmart. Mm-hmm. This woman stops me and like, "Oh, you're Ben, right?"
It's Dylan's grandmother.
And I was like, "Yeah, who are you?"
Hope she's not watching.
And she was like, she asked me a few questions before I said, "Who are you?" Mm-hmm. It was kind of getting weird. And she's like, "Oh, I'm Dylan's grandmother. I'm really glad he had a friend or something like that." And I'm like,
did that not touch your heart?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm trying to get him to come and visit. And she was like, well, if you do, get him to come see me.
I love Dylan. Dylan, can you be here in time for Halloween and come to a Halloween party with us? Can we invite Dylan?
I think we just did.
I wish he would be here, bro.
We invited him a week later.
Oh, yeah?
A week and a half later.
Yeah, this isn't going to air in time for you to get that invite.
Brennan, you looking fresh, though,
I'll
dude.
text you. Brennan is looking fresh.
I wanted to go to the barber today. I think I'm going to go next Tuesday.
I'll be there.
Can you go next Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm needing a touch up.
Next Tuesday? I'm off next Tuesday. Oh, you're off on Tuesdays. Are we all doing a full send?
We're fucking going. We're full sending. That is going to be a full send because it's going to line up perfectly. You're off. He's off. If I am not off, will be at work until 2, and then I'll be off. And if I am off, I'll be off. And
but
we will all
even
be
if you're off, you're still not going to go till 2.
Exactly. So it's a full send either way. I won't have to change any speed in my send. Neither will you guys.
Back to the Fermi paradox. The Type 2 civilization,
Mm-hmm.
apparently you can access, harness the no energy lost from the sun or whatever, the star. And then I think the third civilization is supposed to be like so advanced that I don't even remember. I watched a video and that was a few days ago. Basically, this civilization there might be life out there that's so advanced that it's kind of going under the radar so that we don't know. And it is also a theory that we are allowed to exist. Like, this other civilization does notice us and they're keeping tabs on us. And maybe there was another civilization like us, but they got too advanced and so the other one killed them out. Like, they let life go on until it's about to get to maybe a point where they're like, yeah, we're not sharing the universe with another civilization like us.
So they're going to wipe us out?
That was one theory. The other theory was that there's different barriers to life. for life to overcome, for it to move on, and we could possibly be the first. It was saying that maybe those barriers are a lot more difficult than we expected, and we are actually maybe the first life out. The other idea was maybe several different lives everywhere else. I don't even know how to phrase that. Have existed, but they've reached barriers that ultimately destroy life or something. And so we're probably might be approaching it. It was really cool animation because it was like, instead of being right here next to the beginning, we might be right here next to the end.
Close to the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically just there's a hair on that.
On the candle?
Cat hair.
Okay. I was actually really getting into the Fermi paradox, so don't stop.
Full send it.
Yeah, full send.
I don't remember all of the theories, but the one that stuck out to me was that the reason we don't see, if there was a civilization that was the type 3, they would appear as gods to us, being able to do a lot of things that we can only see as science fiction. And they may just be out there keeping tabs on us until they think that we've advanced too much. Maybe they're the ones that caused the flood. Maybe they try to set us back so that we're not continuously going on. But the idea I got from all of it was the video almost made it sound like it was imperative that we explore past this earth so that we can, spread life to the universe. But why? Why do people think I don't want to die? Life is unique, but why should life go in the universe? Like, why is it important? You know what I mean? If life were all to die out,
like, what would the universe be missing?
Yeah. I mean, we're afraid to die because of what might be there.
Yeah.
But I can't even articulate what I'm trying to say. I'm not eloquent enough yet. I need some wine.
Do you have some?
I've got wine, yeah.
Go pour yourself a cup, brother. We're all adults here.
Well, I don't know about Brennan.
Can you get a close up and I'll be like, viewer discretion is advised, and that way no kids will watch it.
Yeah, because they have to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the porn blocker that says you have to list your age.
I don't know what that is.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What is that you just mentioned?
Have you ever tried to log on to any gaming site whatsoever and they ask you for your age first?
Like gaming?
Yeah.
No. I game on PC.
Dude, right now, please humor me. What's a game? Look up Elder Scrolls or what are they called? Bethesda. Look up Bethesda's website. I think they had one. Do you know? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You're like, yeah, I keep up with that gaming news too. I ain't gonna be no poser over there acting like he too cool for that.
I'm not.
I think it's Bethesda's one of them. Or maybe it was Call of Duty as well.
It's asking me about cookies. Is that what you mean?
No.
What am I looking like to view a game?
No. Maybe Bethesda wasn't one of them. Try Call of Duty.
They're by Blizzard, right?
I don't mean look up Blizzard. I mean look at Call of Duty. What was the game that I was looking up and There's been a few instances of different games that I'd look up, but it would request your age first. Grand Theft Auto has to be one of them.
Oh, yeah, on Steam, like the first time you click a game or something like that, it'll...
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do now, yeah.
But game, like home pages for those games will also do it. That's what I'm saying, because we're telling them they have to listen.
Yeah.
They don't ever cheat it.
I'm caught up now.
Okay.
I was diluted.
You still coming down from Jupiter?
I'm not even... I'm just sent. And
there's no paid postage?
Yeah.
They're not going to return you?
It's a federal holiday.
Oh my God. I fucking love that. Oh, yeah, again. But what about life is so beneficial to the universe that it's a necessity that we spread life?
Right. We don't give anything to the universe.
Yeah. Right? We don't put anything out. I mean, all we do is harm.
Exactly.
Life.
Yeah.
Just imagine there is no harm if there is no life. You know what I mean? Rocks, are they going to feel pain? I mean, you can't. I know life is unique.
Right. But
it's.
You mean like scientifically what?
That's just our fear of dying that wants us to preserve it. But I mean, I don't want to die. I don't want the human race to die out. I wouldn't do anything to cause it to die out. But I also wouldn't be that sad if all humans were dead anyways. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be dead, so how could you be sad?
If humans were to stop existing, I would hate to. The problem with everything,
I think I get what you
is
mean.
thinking of in the terms of living, because all of life, like all of pain, is just because you're living. Like,
yeah.
So thinking about it with compassion and everything, you go, man, I don't want anyone to die, but if no one existed, there would absolutely be no pain, torture,
I think that's
anything like that.
like chaotic neutral or something.
I don't know.
Or like lawful evil.
Another problem is without life, you don't have plants and everything like that, and that's part of beauty. But also, you've seen some of these landscapes of like these other planets.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty beautiful without having anything.
Yeah.
And I think people get hung up on life thinking that there's going to be like sentience everywhere else, but germs or like microbes, and that's considered life. So, did they ever find anything under the ice on your Europa or whatever?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not locked in to the planetoid crisis.
I was trying to make
You were sending an envelope.
Yeah,
that was good.
I haven't played charades in a while.
Well, you could have fooled me.
So that's the. How do you feel about aliens?
Like, as in, do I think they're out there?
Oh, you want to hear a Twilight Zone episode?
Well, hold on. I do think they're out there. That's my official stance. Don't ask me about my unofficial one.
I think, do you ever have like this dissonance? Like where you go... Is that your tummy? Oh.
What? What were you saying?
I heard Yogi growling.
Oh. I just... Okay.
Do you ever have like that dissonance when you're like, yeah, I believe in aliens, but at the same time, it's like, well, where the heck are they?
Yeah, I felt like that, but I mean...
Why do you believe that there's aliens?
I think because I want to, right? Like, I think that's... But even beyond that, I do think there's a good chance, you know? But
why do you think there's a good chance?
Hold on. I don't know. You're asking me to, like, think about it right now?
Well, I mean, like, when they come up with these probabilities of aliens being out there, how can they get that probability? Are they saying, I mean, if you take the size of the universe, are they taking one out of whatever, how many planets we have in the galaxy and going, well, if this is the case, then this should be the case everywhere else? Why can't it be that we're just the only life? What if barriers are that difficult to overcome?
I don't even think as aliens as beings from a different planet. I kind of think of them as like transmorphial, like...
What about fourth dimensional beings?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did I ever show you that? Oh, it's on my SoundCloud. I recorded it and put it on there.
Really?
It was... You ever heard of Coast to Coast Radio?
Kinda.
Every so often, I used to listen to it when I was on Cap 2 because I'd get off sometimes late enough to listen to it. It's like midnight to 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or something crazy like that. I don't remember the times now. They talk about like conspiracies, Bigfoot, black-eyed children, all kinds of stuff. Like anything that's supernatural. And this show has been going on a long time. And they would have callers come on. This one person called in. They get screened. When you call a radio show, you get screened with a screener. Then you tell them what you're calling about, and then you get put with the host. And they put this guy through, and he was like in a panic. He was saying that he used to work for Area 51, and that he didn't have much time to explain anything because they're about to come get him because he had blown the lid on some things. And so he's really frantic. And he's like, what you think of aliens aren't what you really think of. They're fourth dimensional beings. I almost want to hear it right now and just see your reaction.
I want you to pull it up because that's kind of how I've always thought of. I don't think of them as coming from another planet, like in a spaceship. I think if aliens are real,
That's what I mean. And when I talk about like the simulation all the time, it's because we assume all of these things based on the laws that we observe. But if there are other dimensions, can't physics and everything just act differently as well? Can't all laws be different?
That's what I'm saying.
Like we look for other life and we're thinking about, we need to find a planet that's got oxygen and nitrogen and everything in the atmosphere.
That's just what we need.
That can sustain life. But it's like, that's the life that this Earth can sustain, but can't life exist? I remember I saw a thing about methane-based life forms that were, it's all make-believe until it gets proven, but, imagining that things
a lot of the things that we have, or the way we work, would sound like make-believe, Like, talk about gravity. That sounds like make-believe until you experience it,
Rhett and Link were talking about this as like a joke. They had a joke show. It's always a joke. And I reproved my point about they're getting really sexual. It gets like they're trying to do it. They'll say something intentionally. It's like they force it just so it can sound sexual. They were describing the multiverse or whatever, and like, if you can think of it, it exists in another dimension. Which is kind of cool. Like a parallel universe.
Yeah.
So everything you can think of that's possible to think of, the idea is exists somewhere in a parallel universe.
I dig it, yeah.
It's just so weird. Like none of
You're sending me all the way.
I'm looking for this. Art Bell.
What was the point of their thing if it was a joke? Oh, it was just a joke? For a joke's
No,
sake?
they were like, what if the snacks we eat today, let's reimagine. And they're like, we've had a wheat thin. What about our wheat thick?
Oh, okay.
We made a giant wheat thin.
Is that a new one?
Relatively. The past few days.
Okay.
Say, I'm pulling up. This is over 10 years ago. Let's see if this is it.
East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi, I'd like to talk to Art Bell. All right. Well, the number one requirement is to turn your radio off. Oh, sure. I have that off right now. Oh, that's good. Number two, tell us where you are. I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Okay. Well, you've got me, so go ahead. I've got you. I don't have Art Bell. Yes, you do. Oh, you're Art Bell? Yes.
This isn't it. This isn't it. That was not it.
What the hell?
That was his voice.
Whose voice?
Art Bell.
I guess I'm just confused.
Okay. This is it.
Okay.
What a waste of 3 minutes.
I don't think that was 3 minutes.
Choke. Oh, it's just got titles right now before intro. So few views. 8.6 thousand. In 10 years, we better have 8.6 thousand.
I hope so. Maybe as a collective. Can you describe to the viewers what's happening?
It's just an introduction without words.
Okay.
I hate that shit. Where are you going?
The bathroom, since you're...
You about to play.
You're on the air. Hello. Hello, Art? Yes. Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time. Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not. Area 51. That's right. Were you an employee or are you now? A former employee. Former employee. I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and Man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna, they'll triangulate on this position really, really soon. You can't spend a lot of time on the phone, so give us something quick. Okay, okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now. But they're not doing anything. They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable. Discharge. I started getting...
Transmission lost. It goes on.
Oh.
Transmission is cut out right now. And it's kind of cool to listen to his explanation. I don't think it goes on very long.
If it does, I have a question. Is this an actual good show that was on? Okay, so this is
This was on the air, and the system's coming back up. That music still plays today. This is 10 years old. 93.5. The Eagle. 93.5. Compelling radio.
Why have I never heard this?
Comes out of Mountain Home, I think.
Oh, okay.
Not this show, but...
Oh.
Something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now.
It's another caller.
Government or... I don't know. It has to be something, though. Well, did you hear... Now, you tell me because you were listening. That was awful strange. There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off? Yeah. Real weird out. Going sort of sounding paranoid, schizophrenic. Crying and everything. Yeah. And how far into the conversation was it when it went off? Just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds, I'd say. Oh, you guys you really missed a call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it. Yeah. Because it was really strange. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Mark Fermi when that's right. Well, the network, of course, went immediately to a backup tape while we tried to figure out what blew up here. So that's what you heard happen. And then we're now on a backup link system to be on the air at all right now. So, well, I'm telling you. Am I on the air right now? You're on the air right now. Well, you better be, yes. And where are you, by the way? I'm in Michigan. Michigan. Yeah, I called the other night, and
I thought he explains it here in a second.
Real quick. Well, I wanted to say one thing, and I wanted to ask another. Real quick. I wanted to ask if you could play the remote viewing one when you were while you go to Egypt. Yes. And also, I wanted to know.
Oh, he's not explaining it. I thought he says somewhere in there that he's in all my years of being on this
Well, hold on.
network, I've never had him go down.
Question was his show a conspiracy theory show?
Yeah, it's the exact same show as it is today. It's not the same guy though, I don't think.
Okay. I thought it was a radio talk show, so I have to look at it differently. So
it is a radio talk show.
Right, but is his thing conspiracy theories?
Anything supernatural.
Okay.
So sometimes it'll be over maybe the Kennedy assassination. And then he might be talking about Bigfoot next week. And then he might be talking about aliens and then ghosts.
Okay. I was just trying to eliminate the idea of him having faked it or anything. Or the network having done it.
Now, I know, people will fake callers, but I don't know. Even if it is fake.
No, it's...
Assuming it is fake. You can't disprove it. I mean...
No, I know. And
you can
it sounded
disprove that
believable,
call,
if I'm being honest. I was looking at it trying to like really scrutinize it, and it still sounded real.
That'd be one reason that we couldn't see other life when we haven't made contact. We're looking into the skies.
Right, that's what
But it's just here on Earth.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of... I think it could also
Whoa.
be something with space. What?
Wouldn't that be something, though? If the universe is so big, and we're like, why are we the only planet? But this is the only planet. It's just every living thing in every dimension exists on this one planet, just in different dimensions.
Yeah, I think that's a little... I don't think I can grasp that fully.
Everybody's looking to the skies looking for the aliens.
You mean there's no other planets?
No, there's other planets. I'm saying everything out there is barren. And everybody's going out there looking like, why don't we see other life there? The probability is so high. But other life exists. It's just in a different plane.
Oh,
but
okay.
This is the only planet that sustains life in all the universe.
Oh, I thought you were kind of talking like...
no, that stars us.
No, that like all the aliens are already here in the form of like cats are aliens and dog like...
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that was like a Disney Channel original movie like kind of vibe.
Hocus pocus.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that simultaneously all life exists, and we're looking for life everywhere else, but it all exists on this one planet, but in different dimensions.
Right.
My theory is just as valid as any other theory that's out there because nothing can be proven.
Well, that guy's recording sounded like jarring a little bit. It kind of makes you think, like, if what he's saying is true, the part about the government having a hand in all those like disasters or whatever he's talking about, and then there weren't any huge disasters, kind of like, well, maybe because he got on the air and he like warned people and they canceled it or something, like a movie, like you would see in a movie.
We talked about once you believe one conspiracy theory,
I know it's
nothing
easy.
It can be.
It's easy to look at it and be
nothing
like,
is sacred.
well, it could be.
Yeah.
And 99%, if not more of it, is just it's whatever. It's fake, but or it's
how will my
up.
life? And even if it's all real, if I'm not being killed, it's like, what does it matter?
You mean for knowing, like?
No. I mean, like,
if nothing's harming you, like, yeah.
Yeah. If all the time you see something about like the government's doing all these secret things, and it's like, well, so what if they are? The 5G, I saw like an article, is like the biggest human experiment without consent. Like
the 5G thing.
Yeah. I'm just like, well, so what? What is it? I mean, I don't want to grow 8 heads and 2 livers. And do we have more than 2 livers? No, we have 1 liver. I don't know the anatomy. I shouldn't have gone that way. But it's just like, if it doesn't personally do something to me, then what does it matter?
Yeah.
If the government's building some secret area underneath the earth.
Well, I think the fun in believing in it is that it's about to do something. Like, you're on the cusp of like finding out about it, and you're like the main character in a movie who's like about to uncover this thing.
Did I ever tell you about the place in Alaska? It's like a vault for all the seeds on Earth.
Yeah, you mentioned it. What about it?
Just making sure I mentioned it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I need to get some wine.
Okay.
You need a bathroom break?
Sure, yeah. Well, who's going to do our sponsor? You go first.
No, I'm not. That flame can be the sponsor.
Get a good one on that flame.
All right. Are we back?
I think we're on the air. We're not on the air.
I would like to have a radio show.
I was gonna mention to you earlier that we're basically just like an internet radio talk show, kind of like, and I kind of like that.
Me too.
Like, I don't know if we're gonna be a podcast forever or if we're gonna transition into an internet radio talk show, but whatever we are, I like it. Yeah, it's kind of really weird.
You know, I just realized.
Thanks for everybody for watching it, because I know it's like weird. Because I watch it back and I'm like, this is weird, but I like it. But what did you realize? I
just realized, why are we trying to get on Spotify and Apple? Why don't we just have our own website? Do you have to pay to have a website?
Well, yes and no, but I think the reason we don't have our own website is because then that's just another... It's good to be on platforms that people can access you on. They don't want to download another thing or like have another bookmark. You know what I mean? Because I already have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Spotify Premium, Apple Music, SoundCloud Premium. What's the other music one? Some other music one. HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Prime. There's not that many HBOs, but you know my point. People.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Which, oh my god, and then they're talking about like. We've already talked about it, I think, before. How everything's just gonna break down to its own thing, and they're gonna sell it as
how like
cable.
Yeah. So cable.
Yeah, it just bundles
has 2,000 shows. You can pay $100 a month. You get all these shows. And then
but
Netflix,
they were independently their own.
Hold on. They're paying all these different channels.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be the cable paying all those different individual companies,
or the companies paying them to be on the network?
I don't know which way it would go. I feel like it would not go that way. I feel like the cable provider would pay them to use their service, and the cable provider gets the money back from the customers.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know how it works. I'm not saying that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen.
We don't have an official stance on the matter.
Yeah, so, but once Netflix came out, and it was like $10 a month, and just pay for internet through Cox. I'm just going to say Cox because what other cable is there? I mean,
I don't know.
We're just going to use Cox for now.
Okay.
And then you just pay the minimum. I don't know. I think the minimum from Cox for internet, I think was like $50 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's nominal at this point. No one cares.
Right.
So you could have all of this content for the price of basically only getting
internet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel a draft like a moe. I've got a hole in my wall down there, and it leads outside.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm feeling the draft.
I feel good. Do you want my coat?
No.
Okay.
Were you offering to plug that hole with your coat?
No, on your arms.
Oh.
And torso.
No, I just have to put my arms to the sleeves.
Yeah.
And the mass of it is just sliding away.
Yeah.
And then when Netflix, they started seeing how much money they're getting. People were dropping all those 2,000 channels or whatever, paying $100 a month down to this small amount. And all these other places were like, you know what? That's a good idea. That's a good pie you eating.
Yeah.
I want some of it too. So they're all doing this same bullshit. When all of the channels do their own thing like that, then Cox will go, hey, we'll sell your bundle.
They're doing that though.
It sounds stupid.
The CW is, I'm pretty sure they have their own streaming thing now. What? And then the DC Comics has one. It's like they all have one, but what?
We need to talk about the phenomena that was the black hole of Fortnite.
Oh, okay. We can. I'm not. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Do you know?
I do. I know a lot what you're talking about. I don't know if we view it the same way, so I'm excited for your take. But yeah.
I have Fortnite downloaded.
Wait.
I don't play it.
That was all to answer the question of why we don't have our own website. I just wanted to make that clear.
Shit! I forgot what the original question.
The answer was because we don't. There's YouTube for us. You know, we're fine on YouTube. We don't need it
until we get banned because I'm gonna say something I shouldn't.
Yeah, I guess. But
they're like, you're using too many dolphins. Let them bitches in the ocean.
Anyway, what was your take on?
How do you guys get those dolphins to make those sounds every time you want them to? Do you like have them in an aquarium that's big as your house and you just feed them whenever you want them to make a noise?
Hey Ben, I take back what I said. This is good sweet tea. It's not too sweet, and it's like not sweet. It's good sweet tea. I take back my earlier statement. I retract it.
It's just you coming back down.
Yeah, but Fortnite.
I didn't know about this, and it kind of sparked my interest the other day. Somebody was going to put out a display that had Fortnite on it, and this other guy says, well, isn't that game over? I'm like, what? Like, this is the first time I heard this idea. And I came home that day, and one of the guys I watch on YouTube, he was talking about this Fortnite thing, how it was like the best marketing ploy that Epic could ever do.
It was.
The biggest game stream of all time was people just sitting down watching a black screen.
Yeah.
Or with like a little bit. Apparently, Fortnite ended as they're getting ready for the next season.
It's already out. Yeah.
It's already out.
Yeah. It's
It
back.
was supposed to air yesterday.
Yeah, I think it did. Yesterday or like late. Yeah, something like that.
6 o'clock or 7 or 5 o'clock or something like that.
4 a.m. for us, I think.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, 4 a.m. for us.
Anyways, can you imagine sitting in this?
My brother did it. Samuel did it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. We're that's the world we live in. Like the people who are listening, they already know what you're talking about. Like people did it. I didn't do it because I have a fucking job. But if I didn't have a job, I probably would have done it.
Dude, that is so smart.
I know.
They are doing the best things. You can say whatever you want to about
That's what I've said
games,
from the beginning.
But
like,
these people as a business.
That's what I've said from the beginning. I'm not a huge fan of Fortnite. Like to play it, like it gets tiring a little quick for me. But I've always said they have the best like design team, like marketing team, like all of that. They're on top.
I bet it would suck to work there. It's constantly push.
Yeah, I guess so.
The guy I listened to was explaining everything. He doesn't play Fortnite either, but he was like explaining everything that he thought was amazing about it. He's like, how many seasons has it been? Has it been like
this is 11? Well, it's actually chapter 2. It's a new thing.
There were 10.
They went up to
seasons
10. Yeah.
So there were 10 seasons, all on the same island, and it was like always the same geography.
Yep.
But different.
They would change
things.
Cities and stuff like that.
So they would constantly keep the people who were long-term players refreshed by adding new stuff, and then they would entertain newcomers
by keeping the same terrain.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
And I think the reason they switched it up was I think it was getting too difficult for new players to get into it.
Because
for one, there's the building mechanics. No one knows how to build. And then all the old players knew all the geography. They knew you could walk without. They knew all this stuff. And so I think this is a great.
I think so as well.
This is the most free marketing they've ever got.
I think it's a good thing because we won our first game in like decades last night because it's a new.
You were playing without me?
It was playing with Samuel and Ryan and
Why
Jacob.
don't we play?
Shout out to the Holmes.
I've got.
We will. We can. But let me be truthful with you. That was the first time I played it in like 6 months. I'm not out there playing Fortnite without you. That was just like it was a new thing, so everyone was playing.
Bro, we're cross-platform. We can play together.
We can all play. Yeah. Let your brother hop on. And
I'm so fucking disappointed in this group.
No.
For one.
Can we cancel the
we
episode
don't
and
even
go home
we don't
and
even
play?
talk to each other. It's so.
We talk once a week.
You know, every time I watch Rhett and Link, I get sad.
Me and Brennan go to concerts all the time. We're gonna go get our hair cut together.
Yeah,
I get
you
lunch with you every
motherfuckers.
now and then. No, we go shooting. What more do you want from me?
But why aren't we all doing it together?
Don't get
Brennan,
mad at me.
Why aren't you
get
coming
mad
and
at
shooting
the
with us?
establishment.
You can film and shoot your camera while we're shooting.
Dude, you're getting mad at
you
the
wanna
wrong
shoot some
people.
guns?
It's Walmart.
You're not really into it.
It's Walmart. He's at work, or I'm at work, or you're at work.
I truly enjoy my job.
I'm glad. I'm proud, but fuck off with that positivity.
Listen, it is so sad to me that I feel myself being happier, like more and more each day, like every day.
Why is it sad to you?
It's sad because it's going to end.
Oh.
My job is on a time limit. Like all this talk about, we're going to these new positions, and my job will not be the same if we do this. But I'm almost 100% sure we're going to. So I have maybe till March. It's sad because it took me 4 years to find a job that I was like, I really like this. And I'm getting off on time during the day. I'm coming home. I'm getting food prepared. I'm like more and more happy. I'm going to bed and I'm like at a decent hour. Like the latest I stay up now is 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure I fell a little asleep around 9 o'clock last night. And I slept until like 5 this morning. But it's going to go away. What the hell was I talking about?
I don't know. That's sad. Kind of depressing.
Yeah, it is a little bit depressing. Not that anybody listening is interested in Fortnite, but even for people who are not into gaming, it is a curious thing to watch. Because that is the way the world's going. People just sitting down for hours watching a blank screen. That gets me into something else.
What?
I know we talked about how developers can block your ability to game, and you're like, no, I can't. So maybe PC's different. But there's several games that I can't play unless I have an internet connection because of my stuff is being saved online. All the hours we invest into like this online stuff, and if one day the online goes down or whatever.
That was kind of what I was like thinking about when Fortnite ended, even though I knew it was their like next thing. I was kind of like, it's funny because they could just do that. Yeah. And people like my brother have spent.
You spent all that money?
Upwards of $1,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's a real thing. He knows, I'm sure. I mean, but they could just do that and then all your stuff is gone.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not stuff. It's just stuff in a thing.
It's not physical.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying, and I'm trying to get away from this idea because I would always say that's stupid. Why would you ever pay for that? But one, if it makes somebody happy, but two, is it really making them happy? Because it's probably short-term happiness. Because you can't. It's not tangible.
Yeah. Right. Like I get I get that too. I'm not a huge fan of games that are like that. But here's what I like. You don't have to buy a single thing to play the game, and you can win every game with nothing. Yeah. My brother's done it.
I like that.
Like he got super good with as like a no skin, like is what he calls it.
As a potato.
Yeah, as a potato, and. So yeah, I like that. It's not forced. There's no advantage or anything, but it's kind of weird because still like they.
Why don't they just call them peeled?
What?
No skins. Because we call them potatoes.
I'll bring that up to the council. We'll see what we can do. But my point is like, it's weird because they don't force it at all, but it's like their main source of money.
Cats want out.
I don't have a sponsor for tonight, so we can't take very many breaks.
That wasn't a break.
No, I was talking to them. But welcome back to the conversation.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I never really liked Fortnite, anyways. Maybe it's just because my internet always sucked.
Like I love the idea of Fortnite. I just can't play it for very long because there are people so astronomically good. And they're like 6 years old, and when they kill me, like time after time, it's like oh my god. And sometimes I'll kill them. I'm like, that gets you somewhere good.
You're like, oh, there's a streamer
because it's so hard to do it. But Fortnite's not really my thing. I'm not as good as it. It's the whole building thing.
Yeah, the building throws me off. I don't want to play it because of the building.
Like Samuel. Oh my god, I know I talk about Samuel. Samuel's my little brother. He's 13. He's like the best Fortnite player in the world. But yeah, he builds like insane. Like I can't even talk
if Fortnite didn't have building, I'd be playing it.
He makes Fortnite edits to like really popular. His channel is in the link in one of our videos because he did the thumbnail. Thank you, Samuel. The one with Sable. The link to his channel is in that description. Check him out.
What?
He's insane.
What are you trying to say?
My little brother, he has a YouTube channel where he makes these video edits. He did a thumbnail for us for our show, this show. He made a thumbnail in Photoshop for the episode.
That's all he does for his channel?
No.
He does video edits.
Video edits on Fortnite of him playing Fortnite with music in the background.
Okay.
I feel like there's a generation gap thing here. Back to what you were saying, man. I'm done.
I don't remember what I was saying. Jesus Christ.
Can I help you understand what I was saying any better?
About the videos? About what?
I guess we just shouldn't try.
No, I understand what you're talking about with your brother.
Okay.
I never got into Fortnite because of the building part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather play Battlefield or... Battlefield's free to... Well, it's not free to play. It was free with gold on Xbox.
Which I remember when that came out, and I think that was kind of the start of all this you pay to play online kind of thing. Because before that, it was free, wasn't it?
No.
Like playing online on games?
No. You had to pay for... Like on Xbox, you've always had to have gold to be able to play online.
Did you have PlayStation or Xbox? I don't know. I think it was different on PlayStation.
Sony recently, I think, started.
Yeah.
Within the past few years that you had to start paying multiplayer.
I guess that's all I played was PlayStation.
Now here's the thing: a lot of
Sony.
A lot of people get confused because they think you have to pay for like a Uplay account or like a EA like season pass or something to be able to play online. Now, you don't have to pay for online multiplayer if you've got a home account on your console that has gold.
Okay.
So, like, I've got gold, so if Sable wants to be able to play multiplayer one day, she's not gold, but she can still play online with my account being on the Xbox. But, yeah. Dude, you want to know how stupid it used to be? Used to be, if I wanted to watch Netflix, I'd have to have a gold account.
Really?
Yeah, so I'd have to pay for not only Netflix, but also for the gold.
To, like, access any of the apps, you would have to have gold?
Not any of the apps, but any of...
That's weird.
I think YouTube was free, but you had to pay for gold to use Netflix. Maybe you had to have gold for YouTube, did you? Damn.
I wonder if...
So, that recently changed to where you didn't have to, because I think they realized how fucking stupid that was.
Yeah. You already pay for the console, and then...
Dude, I remember ordering discs on Netflix.
Yeah, I remember that too. What's crazy is we lived way out in the sticks, and like we got them way out there, and we just send them back. And it was like, what if we'd invested in Netflix then? Like, damn.
There's so many companies that I think if we would invest in right now, give it 1 year, you know how rich we'd be?
Go do it. Dump your savings into it.
What savings?
Right now, let's go. Don't wake up Sable. It's just...
No, you've got to have money to make money. Like, that is the most true saying I've ever heard.
I would challenge that, but I think you have to have drive and...
No, I think you can build money with motivation and drive and hard work. But I'm saying to make money, if you want to make it in the short term, you got to have the money to be able to risk.
Right, yes, I agree.
I think the stock market's going to crash again.
I'm ready.
Well, I think is it November 21st the election is?
Yeah,
I think November
3rd. Or you vote on the 3rd.
January 1. Is it in January that the new president takes office?
Yes.
January 1st, 2021.
Okay.
Is that it? January 21st. Sometime in January, the stock market is going to crash.
You think so?
Bro. Here's what I think. I think the stock market has been an all-time high for the past 3 years and rising. And I think that's because people believe that a certain someone is for business. And I think the minute that they elect somebody who has been known to say, we need to tax the shit out of businesses, I think they're going to try to pull their money out and dump stocks. That's what causes stock market crashes.
That's insane. I'm ready for it, though.
I mean, the only thing is I don't even understand how you can just tank an economy so fast. I don't. This blows my mind. How did Black Tuesday even happen? Like, how the Great Depression even... like, how did... But it's all just in your head, because if no one had sold their stocks, if no one had gone and done bank runs, then what would have happened? Would everything have stayed the same value? I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't understand either, but the newest season of Peaky Blinders on Netflix, available now, is about that, kind of concerning that. Like, it's happening at the same time, and it affects the characters.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Shit, there were so many things I wanted to mention, and I already forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
If I don't start drinking early on, I run out of things to talk about, because I forget what I wanted to say.
Well, we won't make that mistake again.
No, we won't. Starting now.
I don't have a drink to sip, so...
Can we? Oh!
Oh my god.
What if he catches on fire?
That'd be awesome. Oh my god, it won't go out. I scared him trying to blow the candle out. I'm so sorry.
Did you ask him on a date?
What?
Did you ask him out on a date?
The candle, or?
It won't go out.
Ben is like top-notch comedian.
What was another thing that we wanted to mention?
I wanted to mention how astronomically good you are at the guitar.
Let's talk about music.
Okay.
You were feeling good.
I'm
going to make you a song.
Bro,
We're going to call it Daniel Ascending.
I'm telling you, I want to make like a band that's not like a traditional band. Like your music sounds like it leaps over all like genres.
Mine?
Yeah, like I don't know if that makes sense to me.
I don't know what you mean
were
by
playing
leaping
earlier.
over
Genres. Like it doesn't fit into a genre. It's like above.
Do you ever listen to Muse?
Yeah, but it sounds wackier, like your original stuff. But yeah, what were you saying?
I feel like my music that I've come up with sounds probably spot on to the music that I love.
Well,
which would be Muse, holy
Muse,
fuck, Submersed.
You could say Muse was your muse.
Yes. Hey, we want to have a top 10 books list someday.
You do?
Yeah, because when you said Muse is my muse, I thought of the Divine Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my number one. Used to be. I love epic poetry. Like, it's my favorite. And the Divine Comedy, the first book, was my favorite. Was my favorite until I read... oh my god, I fucking forgot. Paradise Lost.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that book sings to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of references that I don't understand. So a lot of times, like when I first started reading it, I had to like read it, stop, type in something, go, okay, I understand the reference now. It was written back and like
I don't have that kind of dedication.
you don't need it. That was just for me to understand the references he was making. I was wanting to get that. I wanted to get everything that book had to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great about this book is there's going to be passages, paragraphs where he's describing things. You know, he does it in the very same style as Dante did in the Divine Comedy. Like, he references things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In the Divine Comedy, it was much easier to understand. There were a lot of references I didn't get, but much easier to understand. Paradise Lost, he full sends it.
Yeah.
Like, he makes those references so hard. But if you don't get the references, it's okay. Because there's a lot, maybe there's 2 or 3 pages at a time that it's like, I don't understand any of this. But then he gets into the story part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fucking beautiful. Like, I can't explain to you. Another thing I learned while reading that book, because with the Divine Comedy, I didn't have this trouble. I didn't have trouble with getting the imagery of something. But the way he writes, it's so backwards. Like, he'll write the ending of a sentence and then the beginning part, but he does it all throughout. So you're constantly speaking this almost Yoda type style. And anyways, there's just so many lines in that book. I used to have a not a tablet, but it was like those folding leather journals.
Yeah.
Where I had a legal pad.
Okay.
I had a legal pad, and I'd write down the page number, the line number, and I went back into Word, and I typed up every single fucking quote that I loved.
Really?
I had, I don't know how many pages of just quotes that I loved.
Dang.
Hold on. You're going to really feel it in a second. Then I would also, I had my own glossary that I made for the book. Anytime I crossed a word that I didn't understand or whatever, I also made a glossary of the terms I didn't get. So every time I read that, I would fucking understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Little Rock for a convention for accountants.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking used the public computer in the lobby, and I fucking left my flash drive in that computer.
Oh my god!
I lost
really?
all of that shit.
Really? Wow. When was that?
Well, it was when I was in DECA, so 2012, 2013.
Wow. Did you ever contact the library and ask them if they found a mysterious flash drive?
No, not library, public computer in the lobby
Oh,
at the hotel.
Wow.
but I loved it. And it was so insane to me. You know how like you can watch a movie over and over and you start picking up different details? Mm-hmm. By the way, that just happened when we were rewatching The Office.
Really?
Tell me if you remember this part where Angela is talking to Pam and she's like, say my friend Noel has this boyfriend or whatever and his name is Kurt. And I'm like, I wonder if Noel is Angela. Like, I wonder if Angela's middle name is Noel.
It's Angela.
I know it's Angela, but I wonder if her middle name was Noel.
Oh, middle name. Right.
And Sable was like, okay, I'll look it up. And she looked it up, and it was.
Yeah.
I never put two and two together. I just
Dwight's
thought,
middle name is Kurt.
Yeah. I never even thought maybe Angela's middle name is Noel. I just thought,
right,
that's her
there's
code
a lot
word.
that goes into the show is what you're saying. Yeah. I've seen stuff like that, too. Stuff that I didn't notice at first.
But this book is just like that. In fact, I got different imagery when I would read the words aloud than when I would silently read in my head. I was always a silent reader. Like, I hated reading aloud. Mm-hmm. But by reading aloud, I got a different imagery that, like, the second and third time I read the book. Dude, there's so many lines like, you ever heard this? It is better to reign in hell than serve in heaven.
Yeah, I think I've heard that, yeah.
Just dwell on that for a second. Like it's being the master of your own fate is better than to be a subservient in paradise.
Yeah, that does hit pretty hard.
There's another one that long is the road and hard is the journey that leads up and into the light.
Is that from that book?
Yeah,
I've heard that one before.
There's another one that I really liked, and it was how soon unsay what. Oh, I gotta remember exactly how it's worded. It's like, how soon would high thoughts unsay what feigned submission swore?
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta reread it. You gotta reread it several times.
I have to think about it. But.
So he's like, how soon unsay what, or high thoughts are in there somewhere. How soon would high thoughts unsay what feigned submission swore? So feigned submission is he was sent to hell. This is in the eyes of Satan, looking at Satan as a hero. Okay. Not hero as in he's the good guy, but hero as in trying to do the right thing,
right,
regardless of the consequences. How soon unsay what feigned submission swore? So feigned submission would be he says, I'm sorry, and tries to request forgiveness from God because of his state of being sent to hell, because the book starts out fresh from him hitting the dirt in hell, and they're like erecting their palace in hell or whatever.
Okay.
The feigned submission, he's forced in hell and it's a terrible state, so he says, I'm sorry. How soon unsay? So how long would it take for him to go back to his old ways and break his oath and asking for forgiveness to God as soon as he got back into status,
right.
As soon as he goes back into heaven and he's back in charge and he's not being in pain and misery, would he go back on his word?
I guess I'll have to read that because I bought it because of you, and I still haven't read it, but that kind of makes me want to read it.
There's so many fucking great quotes.
Yeah.
And there's so many passages that are just full-on pages that I wish I could quote to you because it's just so beautiful. It is my favorite book that I've ever read. There's another one. He's describing the author is describing the moment that Satan opens up the gates of hell and is looking and he sees this distant golden star, and it says the golden star in this golden pendant or whatever. He's describing Earth in the Milky Way, and it's this distant star in this beautiful like constellation.
Yeah.
He's like, how beautiful it is. And then therein he hies, like he's on his way. Hies, Hies. That's one of the words I put in my glossary. Going in haste or something like that.
Is that what it means?
That's not the literal definition, but that's...
Well, no, I got you.
I'm curious now.
Okay.
You got to get your old English thinking cap on.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It feels like such a millennial thing to say, but I never...
Go quickly. Go in haste, yeah.
I never read books like that because I don't speak yield English. Like, it just takes me too long to... I don't know. I have trouble now even reading books at all because I feel like I could be using my time better. or something like that because I work so much, and when I have time off, it's like. But yeah, I could never justify reading like books that I couldn't understand. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you something else. I don't remember the exact quote again, but there's another part. There's so many great parts of this book. I'm gonna start rereading it on my lunch break from work. One more part of it though. This book helped explain a lot of things that I had questions about. Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna sound crazy. You know that I don't necessarily have a faith, mm-hmm. but one of my biggest things was be open to anything. So say God is real. They're like, why does God allow all these things to happen that are bad? Mm-hmm. Jesus in this book is asking God, why do you allow all these terrible things to happen?
Really?
And like, why do I have to be sent to go down the cross or whatever? He says it in Old English. But then God's like, if I just forgive them and nothing happens, how would justice exist?
Right.
He's like, I love them. I love you. I love humans. But if I were to just forgive them without a consequence, then justice is no longer existing. Because you always have to have a consequence. Like, if you do something wrong, you can be forgiven, but you still have to pay that price. And so humanity is paying for the price of the sins of Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read it. But we need to have a whole episode where we do like our 10 favorite books.
So 1 through 9 will all be the same book.
Are there 9 books?
No. Oh. It's the same book, but I'm going to have to use like 9 different examples why it's my favorite.
Okay. I'll try to have 10 separate ones. But
I told you about Adam of the Road, didn't I?
I don't know. Tell me again.
Adam is like this... Now, if I were to go read this book now, it'd probably seem so trivial, but I read it in 4th grade, I think, or 3rd grade. It's this boy who grows up in medieval times, and he's a minstrel. His father had died, and so he's like an orphan, and he like just travels, and is a traveling minstrel, basically. I haven't read the book in so long. You know what? I'm going to go into my list right now.
Okay.
You can think of your list right now.
Wait, what? How long are we at? I want to do a list where we bring our books, and if we have them, and I want to actually talk about them, like kind of like we did with the movies, but
okay. I won't give a list, but you can go. Let me just name a few books. Of mention.
Okay.
You ever heard of Trumpet of the Swan?
No.
Holy shit! I love that book. It's about a swan that had his own trumpet. He wasn't able to make a noise.
Okay.
And he learned to play the trumpet. It sounds like a little kid book. And
no, it's awesome.
Dude, that book was so fucking good. Like, it's almost like Happy Feet.
Yeah.
But before Happy Feet.
That's awesome.
So, like, he didn't have a voice, and, like, he was an outcast among the swans.
Yeah.
And he found a trumpet and was, like, a bugler.
I don't know.
Trumpeter. He would, like, I think he went and played taps for the military. I mean, this is all make-believe, but...
How long is the book?
It's like that long.
I love it. It's about that. Oh man, that's good.
Another one.
Okay.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Did they do a movie about that?
Yeah, that was stupid as shit.
As it usually is.
I remember loving that book so much. This guy has like, I don't even remember exactly what happens, but he like has his home and he built it for all these penguins to live in his home. I loved it so.
That's awesome.
That was a favorite book too.
Yeah. I'd like to do a book episode. I wish I could read, bro. I just forgot how.
Probably all that homeschooling.
Yeah, probably. No, I gotta start reading again. I don't know.
If there's one book you should read, it's Paradise Lost.
Yeah, I will do it. I just don't know if that's the only book I should ever read.
Should I just open the book up right now and just read a few lines from it?
No, because we'll be here, not figuratively, but literally all night. We'll be here until 3.
Yeah, I love that book.
Like, I want you to do that, but...
Now, it'll probably take you a little bit of time to get into it, because it took me a little bit, because when you first read it, it's like you have to get in that mindset.
Yeah.
It takes you a few times.
Yeah, I think it would just take me time to find the time to get into that mindset, because, I don't know. I don't think I can just read it when it's slow at work.
No. If you've read it already, maybe.
Yeah.
As a refresher. I guess I'm out of things, man. It's kind of uneventful.
Would it be good on Audible? Like as an audiobook? Or should I read it?
I don't know.
I guess it depends on...
For me, I have to read it because there's a lot of phrasing in there that...
And you can kind of go at your own pace as well. Yeah.
Well, if you don't get something, it's easy to rewind when you're reading.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, I don't know. I probably wouldn't listen to it.
Audible actually has a little function where you can rewind 10 seconds,
what a nice
15
plug.
seconds, etc. They also have a sleep timer, and recently they added to the sleep timer you can pick a custom time for when your narration ends.
Should I get Audible?
You should get Audible. Audible has over 2 million audiobooks available to choose from, and you can get a free trial if you go to audible.com.
Do you know what the Divine Comedy is?
Free credit. It's Dante's defining work, I guess you'd say.
His only work.
Yeah, his defining work.
Over the course of 30 years.
Yeah, it's also a religious thing, right?
Yeah,
circles of hell.
He used religion as a means for political.
Okay.
So the book has a lot of political figures in it that he sees in hell.
Huh.
I've got a little commentary that goes with it that I have, but do you know what the story is?
A guy goes through the 9 circles of hell to get someone back, maybe?
That's the first part of the book.
Oh, okay.
So Divine Comedy is split into...
that's Inferno, right? Or something?
Inferno.
Yeah, okay.
Purgatory and then Paradise. So he goes to the 9 circles of hell, comes out. Now this is the cool part. He crawls... So in the 9th circle of hell, the very, very center is Satan. He's got all of his wings, and he's got 3 heads, and each mouth is a different traitor. Like Judas is in one.
Yeah.
Brutus, who betrayed Caesar. I don't remember who the third person is. Anyway, dude, the imagery. Dante crawls down the back of Satan.
Yeah.
And then... as soon as he passes the hole where Satan's body is halfway through, he ends up right side up. He's crawling up the tail.
Really?
Yeah. Into the purgatory.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's...
But I love the painting that he plays in Purgatory because throughout Inferno, you're like, man, this is really dark. Fucking, you can't ever do anything in life because you're just going to go to hell. But in Purgatory, it is explained that you can live your life as long as your heart, you want to do better and you ask for forgiveness, you will still probably pay for your sins. You're going to go pay. But your eventuality is paradise. Purgatory is where you just pay your debt of sins. Hell is where you never felt sorry for your sins.
Can we just be a book club? We just talk about books each week? I kind of like that.
This book deserves it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our purely Audible.
Our Audible sponsored episodes. Oh my God. We're doing their thinking for them. I'm going to reach out to them.
Get on the goddamn phone.
You can't say that if we want to get sponsored, though.
What is a phone?
GD.
Oh.
You can't say GD.
I didn't say GD. I said goddamn it.
Actually, maybe they will sponsor us.
No, what I meant to say is you wanted to do more than once a week.
Yeah, we could have
we have this filmed, and then me and you do one where it's just purely...
I thought you meant our Audible sponsored episodes.
Dude, imagine if they paid us $10 a week just to voice their name. Because that's 59 people we're getting their name out to.
Dude, I would recommend Audible to every person I come in contact with.
I tried to use it and I didn't know how.
I love it. I'll show you. This will...
I feel like I tried to get a book and I couldn't.
Now, okay, I will admit, Audible, it is a little difficult. Actually, no. Eureka. You can now, in the app, you can get books in the app. Before, you had to go to Amazon.com, go to the Audible audiobook section, and then get an audiobook, and it would get delivered to your wireless device. But now you can get books with your credits from within the app. With your credits?
Audible. I thought you could get a free book every month.
You do get a free book every month, but you pay for Audible.
Oh, that's shit.
No, it's not.
That's what it was.
Hold on. You just don't want to pay for it. Let me break it down for you. An audiobook, some of the cheapest ones are $44. They're works of art. That's what I'm saying, bro. You pay $14 a month, and you get each month a credit for an audiobook.
No, let me tell you something.
44 to 64 to 194.
A book on a bad week. A bad book will take me a week to get through. A good book takes me like 1 to 2 days. I don't have time.
With Audible,
no, listen.
You have a speed thing. You can adjust how fast they're talking.
No, that's my point. If I listen to that book, the rate at which I would read, I would be waiting in like 3 more weeks before I could get another book, but I paid $14 a month.
Oh, you read too fast. This is an intellectual flex. I see. I know, but it's the privilege of, I don't know.
Is it a privilege? You're paying to use a service, and they're like, we will allow you to have one book to listen to,
like
but you're gonna have to pay $44 fucking dollars.
If you're like 80% of us, you don't have the time to read an audiobook in one setting or listen to an audiobook in one setting. Like, I use it in 15-minute increments daily. Like,
how do you ever finish a book?
It literally takes me a couple weeks or months, and I like that because it's like.
But if you were to sit down and read, you could get through a book faster in 15 minutes.
I don't think I want to. It's the journey. It feels like I kind of define my life by what book I was reading or listening to at that time.
I'm not saying
right
you can't.
Now I'm listening to J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. You can check it out on Audible.
No, I'm saying that you're not getting rid of your journey by reading it instead of listening. It's the same journey. For me, I'm
not combating, like, I'm not versing listening versus reading. I kind of agree reading is better. For me, what's convenient is listening, because the only free time I have is the 15 minutes before I go to sleep. So I pull up Audible, put the sleep timer on 15 minutes, and just absorb that day and just get ready for the next one.
How do you even remember?
Because it's
the 15 minutes that happened.
I don't know. I guess I just have a big giant brain. It's not that hard. And I will not lie. If it's a really good book, I'll keep hitting that timer, like refreshing it. And I've laid there for like 3 hours at a time and finished a book in like a setting.
Yeah. And then what'd you do for the rest of the month? You paid $14 and you don't get the rest of the month.
Because I don't read every book like that. So I had like 14 credits at this time. Like, if you don't use a credit that month, they pile up. So if you get into a really tedious book or whatever, you'll have another credit. They'll pile up. Like, or if you.
But that's
what I'm saying is, I think you have too much time on your hand if you can read a book. Like,
dude, this is how I used to be. I come home from school and I either play guitar. Guitar was kind of in the later stages. I basically would just sit down for 3 hours a night and just read.
I wish I could be like that. I used to be like that. I can't say it back when I was in school because I was homeschooled. So I envy people like you, and they're like, back when I was in school, because that kind of defines your life. So I can't say that. But when I was homeschooled,
just say you're 13.
Yeah, when I was like 13 or whatever, I would do the same thing. I loved reading. I would prop up on the couch. I would like to lay down and read, and just read. I would finish books in sittings. Like, I used to be like that. Now I don't know if something switched in my brain or what it is, but I'm just like, I have too much energy.
What if you came over and we both listened to the same audio book?
What do you mean? For a month or for?
I'm just saying, I love books. I want you to read the same books I want to read.
I will try.
You don't want to read.
No. I wish I could read.
No, but
I forgot how in the war.
But listen. So you do audiobooks.
Yeah.
But what if you just came over like once a week and you just sat on my couch, we clean it off first, and then you just put on your audiobook and we could both sit there and listen?
I think that would be taking it to a new stage of friendship, and I'm down.
No, the new stage of friendship is if we were both completely nude. I'll be feeding you grapes.
Wow.
Seductive. That's what she said.
Steamrolling past that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't listen to him like in the daytime or when I would like.
Oh, so you're turning me down? That's fine.
No, I'm down to do that.
No, it's okay.
No, what I meant is
I can take a rejection.
I think we're looking at audiobooks different. You're upset that you would read it or listen to it too fast.
No, I'm upset that I would listen to it all in one day or within 1 week if I was paying for the $14. If you're paying the $14 and I listen off of you, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Money's the issue. If they made it to like where every book was $5 and you didn't pay a subscription to Audible,
that could be.
I would do that.
That could be a good thing.
Now, if I'm going to be paying a subscription, I expect to listen to as many books as I want. That's the thing. Like, if you pay a monthly subscription to Netflix, you watch anything you want on the thing.
But I think it just kind of comes down to like, audiobooks are expensive. That's a guy or a woman sitting in a room for a month at a like they'll do 4 hours a day for a month straight.
Yeah, you know what I have to do to make the money to pay for that shit?
I know.
They got to sit down and read a book that was probably good.
It's first of all, I will say they are kind of heroes because they don't like there's no like pronunciation mishaps. It's like, how do you do that? How does someone read so?
Oh, for one, it's good. Not continuous. You know there were mishaps.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's so good. There's no cuts or like you can't tell.
So you like the producer?
I like
or whatever.
The production. I like the production of it. I like the art. I see the art in everything. It's just how I am.
Another thing I don't like about listening to somebody else read. I think he's getting tired. We'll stop right after. I'll say something and you can say whatever you want to do.
Okay.
The book Aragon. When being a reader, there's a lot of words that I found out later on in life that I was pronouncing incorrectly because I used to say cachet all the time.
Yeah.
Cash. Mm-hmm. I used to say citadel. So being a reader and being an avid reader, I learned a lot of words incorrectly.
Yeah.
Now, I say Aragon because when I first saw that book, I read it to myself, and I'm like, Aragon.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was Aragon.
Huh.
And then when I first heard it was pronounced Aragon, because I looked in the glossary of the book, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I read this whole fucking book, and I pronounced the name wrong in my head.
Aragon.
I would never look at that and thought Aragon. When I looked at that, immediately I thought Aragon.
That's... Wow.
Look,
Aragon.
It was sitting on the shelf.
Dude, that's crazy because it's about dragons.
5th grade, Mrs. Young's class. She had a wall of books. Mm-hmm. I'm in there. I'm going to look for me a book. Oh, what's this? Eragon. There's a dragon on the front. Aragon. I thought Aragon was the name of the dragon until I started reading it.
Oh, my God. We should tell Christopher that.
Here's another thing.
The guy who wrote it.
I didn't pronounce it Sapphira. I pronounced it Sapphira because she's blue. Sapphires are blue.
Wow. That's like, you have such intellectual reasons for mispronouncing things. I feel like most people are like, I just read it wrong. And you're like, no, sapphire. Like, you're breaking down. Like, that's just crazy to me. That's sending me a little bit. But I love The Inheritance Cycle. That's crazy that you perceived it in that way. I can't imagine reading it. Doesn't that kind of change your whole read? Like reading it, pronouncing his name that way?
It pissed me off. Yeah.
And then going
so when
forward.
I go read it, I don't...
Right.
If I try to talk to somebody about the book, I have to break myself and make myself hate myself and say Aragon. But anytime I go read to myself, I'm reading I'm reading Aragon.
Aragon. That's so weird. I have to make myself say it. It doesn't flow off the...
Roran's talking to his cousin. Hey, Aragon. Come back from... What was that town with the T? Remember? So, imagining here... What town do they live in?
They live in the Spine in...
They live right next to the Spine. Here's the Spine. Here's their town in that little valley, right?
Yeah, what is it?
And then if you travel all the way this way, down the Spine, there's a place with the T.
I gotta go grab one of your
And then
books.
look, and then it follows the coast all the way down, and then there's where the Varden is.
Do a sponsor.
Sponsoring Christopher Paolini, The Inheritance Cycle. Paolini.
Paolini.
Another name I mispronounced wrong my whole life. The Inheritance Cycle consists of 4 different books.
Continue. I'll find it.
Is that Brasinger?
Yeah.
I never finished reading it. I bought
Have
that.
you not
No,
finished The
listen.
Inheritance Cycle?
No, I haven't.
I'll punch you to death.
No, listen. In one day, I bought that book because it was sold at Walmart. Back when...
Books were sold at Walmart?
No, back when... Oh, my God. Do you remember back when Walmart had the book aisle, like... You know where apparel is now?
Yeah.
Isn't that where the books used to be?
Yes. No. Yes, no, it is. It is, yes.
Right across from grocery.
Yes, right across from Frozen.
They had that book aisle.
Yeah, I love that.
That's where I got that book.
That's awesome. I got a lot of good books there. I got the one after this.
Yeah, Inheritance.
Inheritance, yeah.
I still haven't read that. But look,
I got this book. I said my mother's called Carmel, right? Carmel. And then there's more. There's more. Yeah. The name tells. Is that the part?
No.
Oh, it is.
This is the Yeah, I know. And his, like when he was being taught, and he like could feel the ants in the ground.
Then you need to finish this. You need to reread them.
No, what I was trying to tell you is I got halfway through that book, and one day sitting in my mom's car just reading it, and it was so good. I'm like, I know if I put this down, something's gonna happen. I won't be able to finish it. I put it down. You know where the last part I remember?
What?
Roran and Aragon, they get...
Stop calling him that, bro. We're going to fight.
Roran and Aragon
okay.
are together, and they're in... They were next to Urubane. They go to the mountain that the Razak live in.
Helgrind.
Helgrind?
Helgrind, yeah.
They're performing an attack on Helgrind to get back Katrina. That's the last bit I remember.
That's like the first chapter.
No.
Yes, it is. Please hold for a reading from Berzinger, Book 3 in the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. The first chapter is titled The Gates of Death. Aragon stared at the dark tower of stone wherein hid the monsters who had murdered his uncle Garrow.
Well, hold on. Let me go halfway through, because I know I got halfway through this book.
Oh, it might like flip back and forth between it. Like, what I mean is it might go into another character's point of view and then flip back to that. I can't remember.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, that I can't believe it. Like, I'm actually astounded. Why'd you let that happen?
Life got in the way.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, that hurts. You should finish it, though. It's good.
I'm going to finish it. In fact, not too long ago, I went on a trip down the mighty Mississippi.
Yeah?
No, I had to go to, I don't remember where it was, but I took Aragon with me. I read it. And when I came back, I had to go back to, like, the next day. So I took Eldest with me. And I was almost finished with Eldest because I was going to go through them all again.
You read a book in a day?
No. I had gotten in this mode where I was, like, reading every night again. And, like, Sybil was pretty happy because I used to stay up really late. So I tried to get in a habit where I would just read but not play the TV because I got in this idea. Having electronics on.
It is bad.
You can't have it on within an hour of going to bed or something.
2 hours, really, if you want to be safe. I mean, not safe, just healthy. I hate it, but it's whatever.
So we're going to redo all this stuff?
Do what?
We're going to read again?
Yeah, I'm going to read.
Let's read.
Let's read. I'm not
going to read this first. I'm going to go back to Paradise Lost. I want to reread that.
I'm going to do a book of the week. You can too if you'd like.
Book of the week. You know what?
Or we could do a conjoined.
That is real prim and proper. Why don't we go to Beers and Books?
Beers and Books. We're changing the name. Brennan, re-edit all of these. It's Beers and Books.
Oh, that could be our side podcast. That's just completely audio. Beers and Books.
Could be, but they wouldn't be able to experience the beer.
They don't have to see it.
Or seeing the cover of the book.
Beers and Books doesn't have a beer of the week. Beers and Books is just being drunk, talking about books.
Cool.
That's a good idea, ain't it?
You could be onto something. We'll talk to our manager and see if we can make that happen.
Same old. All right. That's been a good bad podcast. That's not going to be as funny.
Yeah, it's fine.
I remember that one.
Hold on. We're not confined by any we don't have to fit this narrative. We don't have to be funny every episode. I want to talk about death.
No, we do.
Episode.
I love to watch these videos back, and when I'm laughing and you're laughing, I'm laughing in real life while watching. I was laughing at our own podcast.
I just recently started watching a few clips and snippets because I don't watch our own things. I like to make a point of saying that every week.
Our own content?
Yeah, I don't watch our own content.
You're a true artist, yeah.
Yeah. Do I say that a lot or something?
Only every week.
I've been getting into the habit of watching a few clips of them, and yeah, they're okay. They're funny. I mean, they're whatever. I'm just kidding.
You trying to be humble?
I like them a lot. No, they're good. They're a little like I love that we have actual viewers because they're weird. Like I love them though. I'm glad they watch them. Thanks. You know what I mean?
I was contacted by another person who
get them on.
I thought. I don't know if they actually watched it all, but they at least noticed that we posted one. I had mentioned this person in the episode. And what I thought was odd is that I had mentioned that I had no idea what this person's podcast name was. And he talked to me, but he didn't mention anything about what his podcast was called.
Oh, okay.
So part of me really felt that he just happened to notice that I released a new one, but he didn't listen to it. So he doesn't know that I don't know what the name of his podcast is.
Well, maybe James is watching and maybe he's not. I ran into Daniel Tina, or what's his last name?
Tina.
Yeah, Daniel Tina the other day, just in passing, and he was like, "Hey, I'm loving the videos, man. Keep it up." I was like, "Thanks, man. Like, thank you guys for watching."
But I'm curious if they even finish it all the way.
I don't care if they do. Like, I'm glad they're watching. I'll be honest. I rarely finish a 1 hour or something video. I finished Joe Rogan's. I don't have as much time as you. Like, I'm either sleeping or I'm working.
You've got the time.
I guess I do.
I work 8 hours a day.
I know. I don't manage it well.
Day.
I get you, dude.
You know what I did the other day?
What'd you do?
I got up at 6:30. Let's be real. I got up at 6:30 and got ready in 10 minutes. Then I went to work. I was almost 10 minutes late. I spend my whole 8 hour day. I stay an hour late. Wrong day. I get off at about 4. And then I come home and I spend 3 hours in the kitchen just cleaning. You know what I did that night? I don't know. I watched whatever I wanted to watch.
You know what this is?
But I'm just saying, I've got the time.
This is the world's smallest violin I'm playing it.
No, I don't have the time to do everything that I want to do. But if you really want to watch that, you have the time.
Yeah, I get it. I know I do. But it's about picking what fills my time slots. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is picking.
Yeah.
But what it speaks more of is how little you view our content is important. If the own creator can't spend time to rewatch his art, how is somebody else going to take?
Are you spinning this on me? I don't think.
I am
since
not
I lived through
it.
I don't think I'm obligated to watch it because it's kind of.
You
First
are
of all,
obligated.
I don't like to watch it because I don't want it to affect my performance. Like, I don't want it to change who I naturally am. I don't want to start seeing things that I want to change and be like, oh, that's stupid.
Oh, like I do every week? Hey.
I just want to be as authentic as I can.
Here's why you do need to try to change some things.
Because you want me to be more...
I think you're fucking perfect. Listen, but when I go back and watch and I hear all the things that I do, I'm like, who wants to listen to me smacking in the microphone? Who wants to listen to me go, first of all, the idea is, so it's good to go back and listen.
I think we're just different. I don't...
You can still be yourself and natural, but everybody needs improvement.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I do watch snippets of them.
You're right. God just made you in his image. We all have to look up to you.
That's not even what I was saying.
No, you wouldn't say it. You're too humble and modest for that.
What was the original thing?
We were supposed to end this 20 minutes ago when I was talking about Aragon. Yeah, I know. But at least it's been under an hour 40, right?
What I meant is, I don't...
Oh, bye.